OTAN, Outreach and Technical Assistance Network.
Digital Leadership Academy, Year 1, Mid-Project Report, Los Angeles Community College District, May 2019.
Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Friday. My name is Martha Clayton.
My name is Carmen Delgado.
And we represent Los Angeles Community College District. Do you want to do this?
Yes.
So who are we? We are the second largest community college district in the country. For almost 90 years, we have served 3 million students. There are 9 colleges that serve 40 cities, and we span 882 square miles. In the last academic school year, we had over 250,000 students enrolled with over 2,000 sections of adult non-credit education classes. From our most northern campus at LA Mission College to our most southern campus, which is Harbor, it spans 63 miles across Los Angeles. So we have a really big area that we have to cover, and we have a really incredibly diverse group of learners. And when I say diverse, I mean not just culturally and linguistically, but also economically. 80% of our students are underserved. We serve 3 times more Latinx students than the UC system and 4 times more African American and Black students than the UC system. LA City College is our home campus. We are WIOA funded. We are members of the Los Angeles Regional Adult Education Consortium. We are the coordinating college for the district. We have over 200 sections of adult non-credit education classes, 50 off-site classes, and 80 adjuncts. We have no full-time faculty. So our plan, we focused on goal 2 of our technology and distance learning plan, which was to streamline the learner onboarding process to give them better access to PeopleSoft, which is our student information system, Office 365, and Canvas, which are free to our students. Even after they leave LA City College, they can still use Office 365 for, I think it's 2 years. That was actually designed by, one of the people who spearheaded this idea was James Manzano, who's a student worker in the Non-Credit Success Academy at LA City College. He developed a series of workshops to support this, and he has put together materials, and he started doing a lot of promotion for this. So he was really important in developing goal 2 for our plan. And so in the first year, we started these workshops that are in the office or in people's classes to give students exposure to the technology that they get for free by being enrolled in our program. We developed multilingual materials to support this. We have handouts now, our support materials in Spanish, English, I think we have Armenian now, Korean, and they're working on Russian. And then we also started amping up instructor involvement. So reaching out to instructors that might be interested, who use technology in their classroom already, and trying to get them excited about it so we can sort of recycle the knowledge from when students come in at orientation, and then when they go to class, they get it again, and then they're actually using it in class. The first year we had 7 instructors who had Canvas certification, and now we have, will you click it again? And now we have 25. Of that 25, they're not all using it as much as we want them to yet, but there's a lot of movement happening with that. So people are getting kind of excited about Canvas. So challenges and solutions. We had, our original team was kind of spread out across our district. So I was at LA City College, and our other team member was at 2 other campuses in our district. So he was a bit of a freeway flyer, and then he was also juggling different administrations at 3 different campuses. And because we're all adjuncts, it makes it really hard to commit in a situation like that. And so that was a huge challenge, and my solution was Carmen, Carmen Delgado. So Carmen, the reason that I wanted to work with Carmen was because we were at the same home campus. And then we also share an off-site assignment. She's there Monday, or I'm there Monday, Wednesday teaching ESL. She's there Tuesday, Thursday teaching technology. And so we had started talking about making our classes run parallel so we could, really instigate accelerated learning. And so we developed a parallel curriculum in that class, and we kind of discovered that we had really complementary perspectives about learning and what should be happening in the classroom. And so it just kind of turned into a really good fit for us. And so now I want to introduce Carmen so she can tell you all about her experience.
Shifting gears. As I have the question marks, that's what I felt. All over question marks on me because, yes, we were working together. And when she asked me, I was like, yeah, I want to get into. But what was it? And then I was like, oh my God. So then suddenly she thrown me all this, notes, the course, and then the handbook. So I began reading, getting as much as information just to get into, so I could be fully involved in the project. And then suddenly I noticed when I was reading that I was into the blended model. Because before Canvas that we are using now, I was using Edmodo. And one of the things, why I'm using it, because I teach computer basic course. But at the same time, it is a basic course, but my students, when they come in, they were like, what are you going to teach? So the first thing I do, and I have read it, is my syllabus. Oh, okay, here it is, my syllabus. And this is what I'm going to teach this semester. So many professionals come to the class because they're coming from their countries. They don't know the terminology. They are learning. They just come to the semester to learn the terminology in English, computer terminology. And that gives me the idea of, okay, I know I'm teaching the computer course, basic course, but I need to do something else. So, and then students' questions, they were like, I'm working in this company, but they are using the email. And besides, there is a program that I cannot get into. So then that's when I found out Edmodo, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do something with this. So I start the course, blending the course with online, giving them quizzes, the assignments, so they can work at home. And all the students, the ones that ask questions, and then I have the students who are forced to get into the computer class. And those are like frightened, and they don't even want to touch the computer because they think they're going to break it. So then, but as soon as they started, and they were, because of the syllabus, and I start giving the lessons, and then showing them the procedure, how to do this, how to use the program, how to use the tools, how to create something that is meaningful. Because many of them, you know what, I don't know how to do a resume. Oh, okay, that will be part of a little bit on the side, part of the class, one more lesson plan for the students. So now it wasn't a challenge for them. Now it became less challenge, and they got into the computer, into the technology. So that's how I think, as parallel classes, she's teaching ESL, I'm teaching the computer class, and everything is leading us to DL courses.
All right.
So,
okay. So where are we now? We've really kind of driven home with students who are going to the workshops to use the email, student email in Office 365 and Canvas, so they can access all this free software and use a lot of them have computers at home for their kids, and they don't know how to use them, and now they're starting to make this connection. So it's really interesting to see how this turns into mobile assisted learning. And when I say mobile, I don't just mean mobile phone. I mean their learning is moving around with them wherever they are. So that's been really exciting. We're preparing the way to implement more parallel classes between ESL and civics and computer classes. Goal 2, streamlining the onboarding process and orientation, has been blossoming really nicely, and we're hoping to have a lot more materials and get more instructors involved in the fall. And then we added goal 3, which is our digital EL civics, which went a little bit, it got big kind of fast. So we are trying to create digital EL civics materials for all of our co-ops. It's all available in Canvas Commons. So if you go to the Canvas Commons and search by my name, you can get it. It's free, it's open, it's totally for you. And we want to pilot it this fall with a beginning low, beginning high, and intermediate low in parallel ESL and computer classes. We did a little sort of mini pilot last winter, which was really successful. And then, Carmen, will you click on demonstration?
Yes.
And then this is what it looks, some of you have already seen this, but this is what it looks like. We've got this massive, so it has all of the lessons they need, and we made it 4 skills, so that way this is usable in multiple classes. It doesn't have to just be in an ESL class, it could be in a basic skills class. And then it's also standalone, so it doesn't have to be for the co-op assessment. You can use it just to teach whatever the topic is. So it's really robust, and it's got grammar and vocabulary, speaking, listening, everything's in there. And again, it's totally free for you to take. A few things, quotes from a few students that we've gotten recently about their experience in the mini pilot. They really expressed, at the beginning they were definitely apprehensive, like Carmen was saying, like some of the students were like, why are we in a computer lab for an ESL class? And once they got into it and realized they could navigate on their own, they were really, really into it. About 40% of the students in this class put the Canvas app on their phone and did the entire thing except the assessments, which were done in class, on their phones. And they would do it like on the bus, in the grocery store. They were finishing it faster than I could like open up the next lesson. So they were really excited. And I had 7 students from this class who said they weren't going to sign up for ESL first for the next semester. They wanted to sign up for Carmen's computer class. So it was really interesting to see this shift in sort of their perspective on what learning English was, because now we had this whole other skill set that was integrated into it. So it's been really exciting and fun.
And then, since I'm new using the Canvas, I started after because she helped me. And then I started completely in this semester. And the thing is that students got so into it, learning outside the classroom, that I had 2 students, oh, teacher, I'm doing this project, the last project, in the middle of the semester. And I'm like, where did you get it? Oh, it is online. It is in Canvas. And I was, Marta, the students are doing the homework, are doing the work from the end of the semester. What should I do?
Unpublished. But yeah, so
Yes.
overall, I think it's been really successful, and we're really excited about the fall semester. And then this summer, of course, we'll be building Canvas shells. So,
Yes.
right. I think that's kind
Yes.
of it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
questions?
Thank you.
Are our students digital natives for using their phones to learn, or are they now being taught how to use their phones to learn? It's a combination. Some of the students, I get probably, I would say, around 3% of my students in any class who will come up to me and say, I don't know how to use text. And then I have other students who are like, I've already installed all of the apps I need for your class. I'm ahead of the game. And Carmen and I have actually been talking about adding an element to the course outlines for our technology classes that specifically targets mobile use. Because there's such high mobile saturation, they all have that computer in their pocket. So some of them are digital natives and some of them are not. And so we're trying to like fill that gap now and add that to maybe the orientation, or make a new workshop for that specifically targets mobile technology, because they all have it.
In addition to that, one of our students in LACC in the main site, he already downloaded the Canvas, and he's one of he's one of the ones, I think he's driving, going to school in bus, using the bus, and he's the one who finished because he's doing it with the mobile, with the smartphone.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was the Canvas certification created in-house, or was it something that Canvas created? We have a 2-hour workshop that we have to do that I believe is that Canvas published. that in order to get access to a shell, any instructor has to do a short 2-hour certification. Can I share more about the workshops? Yes. So the workshops, what happens is we have them roughly once a month in our office, and students can go to that. And so they come in and they get training, short training on how to use the PeopleSoft student information system, which is really important so they can enroll themselves instead of having somebody in the office enroll them in classes. So that was the first target, and then we added on the student email and Office 365 and now Canvas. So they come in and they get a PowerPoint presentation and then first language handouts that they can take home with them that have step-by-step instructions. And then that workshop can be replicated in the classroom. So some instructors are having it in their classroom, some are sending students to the office, and some are doing both. I do both. I send them to the office, and then I have them come back and do it again with me. And then I try and reinforce whatever they've learned in that in our class. No, they are not required. It's all voluntary. We have nothing that's required. What plans do we have to get more teachers on board? Harassment, mostly. Harassment and professional development. And, trying to make them envious. Just bothering people until they hopefully get on board, Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. Our coach Susan's idea was to the students will guide the instruction on this. The students will be the ones asking instructors for access to Canvas and technology. So we'll get them from both ends, right?
And I already experienced that because when I opened for the first time during the semester, Canvas showing the students how to log in, because now everything is together. Everything is integrated. The email, Office 365, and Canvas. In one login, they are into the three of them. So when I opened it for the first time, Marta did it first, and when I started teaching them, and they were like, "Oh, we have in the ESL, we have with Miss Clayton, we have open, and now we have the lesson plans there." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So students, I wasn't the first one. So students, yes, they are now encouraging. Even if maybe the teacher is not doing it, they will start doing it because students ask. They require for us to upgrade ourselves. I was saying, I was talking to you, I think I said, for the last 3 years, about 3 years ago, I ended up with 3 computers at home, 3 laptops, because before the operating system 8, was Vista? I already forgot. I had that computer. And then came the 2008, and I was like, oh my God, no, I need to upgrade myself, because what if the school where I go is going to have the same system? And then a year later, 2010, and I was like, 2010, I need to learn the 2010 operating system. So, and that's one of the things that we have to do ourselves, upgrading ourselves in order to give the students what they need. Mainly because in our system, the workforce, I got into Craigslist, unemployment list that what they have. They are requiring for the students technology. They need to know, even though they complain that it's a low pay, but it is a requirement lately. They need to know how to use Excel. They need to know how to use the Word. Even if they're not doing it, the companies, they just wanted for them to learn technology in case they need it, or most of the companies, they already have it. And that's why we need to upgrade ourselves.
Did we receive any recognition at the consortia level? Yes. Were you there? So Lyric gave me an innovation award for the Canvas shell for EL Civics. So that was really exciting. I got a plaque. Thanks. Can I show you what's in a unit for EL Civics for the Canvas shell? So the way this is designed, The full unit and each individual lesson is bookended by in-class activities, so you can do formative assessment and also recycle any technical information that you need students to remember. So the welcome unit, or the welcome lesson, is all about how to use Canvas. So they practice leaving a text discussion response, a video discussion response, and an audio discussion response. Then they, let's see. So for the first lesson, which is healthy food resources, they have an introduction. Oh, I don't have any. Oh, they have an this is all locked, sorry. Let me log in. So they get an introduction, they get, they're exposed to the objectives for the course, or for that lesson. And then it jumps right into a group discussion. They watch videos, they respond to what they see, there's some questions. And then it gets into vocabulary. So they have, there's a vocabulary preview for each lesson, and then they do vocabulary practice with Quizlet embedded. So you can have students make the Quizlet for you and then embed it, which is really fun. And it goes through all 4 skills. So they have a vocabulary quiz. Some of the quizzes are practice activities leading up to the assessments. There's reading and listening. We created some characters named Svetlana and Mario, who go on an adventure grocery shopping.
As you do.
And then, as people do, right? So, there's a lot. It goes back and forth a lot between each of the skills that they need for the language support, and then the technology skills are reinforced throughout the whole thing. So they keep having to do the same stuff over with that. And that's it. We're cut.
Produced by OTAN. www.otan.us 2019.